Yes, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Waiting on Norwood to click me
And
into the
while we're here,
live.
Charter
What's
is
good,
still
good
hated.
people?
So ESPN has to be tricked. Got to find a way to watch ESPN games. And I'll
Yes,
actually probably
sir. I am
be in the
here.
streets. I'll probably be in the streets today so that I can watch this Bama versus Texas game. Should be very interesting.
What's
But
good?
what's up, Reg?
What's good, brother? How you feeling? How you feeling?
I am happy. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored, and I haven't started drinking yet. I decided that I think this is going to be a long day, so I'll start a little bit later.
I have started drinking.
Oh,
Just
must be nice.
I definitely have already started drinking. Nothing crazy, little breakfast drink, little breakfast drink, little honey and coffee and some Hennessy. Not Hennessy, Crown Royale.
I was about to say, boy, you doing the early morning Henny? You all right? Is
Nah,
things
I'm not
going
doing.
well in your life?
Nah. I
And
know.
if anybody got a Comcast or Xfinity password they want to share with your boy, I will greatly appreciate that because Charter is hating right now and it's almost to the point of full disappointment.
I was about to
And
say,
I
are
checked
y'all
it,
still are y'all still battling over there?
no, battling means that there will be a fight, there will be a discourse or fisticuffs. At this point, all is quiet on the Western Front for all teams. So I just have to sit here and
Ooh, that's ugly.
I I am gonna watch looks like Notre Dame, and of course that's a joke, but that's another
I
conversation
don't
for a
think that's a
different day.
joke, man. I don't think that's a joke. That's not fair.
I
Don't be that guy.
I hate watching Notre Dame. I think that they should never be ranked until they beat somebody that matters, and I don't think that we should talk about them until they beat somebody uh and win a championship or something. They haven't been good to me since Jerome Bettis, and everything
That's not
else is
true.
just
That's not true. They've been good since Jerome Bettis.
woohoo. Manti Te'o, his girlfriend.
Yeah.
No, that don't count. They didn't win anything. They played a team, then they got
They
destroyed.
played a real team?
Yeah, real team, fake girlfriend.
Oh, no. That's so sad.
But let's get into picking these games, ladies and gents. We are going to start with college football. This is a game that is very interesting to me. Baylor did lose and the game here is Utah versus Baylor. Utah seems to be without Cam Rising for a second week in a row.
We're going to Pac 12
Uh,
first?
we just yeah, kind of. We're just going.
Well, I was
They
trying to.
all these games do not matter yet. So we're picking the games that actually kind of matter. Everything else can kind of go to hell until we get into more conference play. So the game that I'm starting out with is Utah. They did beat the hell out of the Florida Gators last week. Ended our season
Yeah,
relatively earlier.
they did.
If you got a chance, do me a favor and get Billy Napier fired. We need a new coach. I'm thinking Cliff Kingsbury, but we're not going to bury the lead with that. Utah and Baylor. Baylor did lose last week as well as one of the other Texas teams that lost. I am actually picking Utah to win again.
Picking Utah
And
to win
Baylor
this game?
go yeah to go down to start the season 0-2. Utah starts the
Is Cam
season
Rising
2-0.
back?
We got no still injured. It didn't seem to matter last week. I do not assume that it matters this week.
So I guess the real question is, do I consider Baylor a better
It
team than Florida?
is Art Briles coaching.
I mean, y'all ain't got Sperry over there either now. But I
I know.
mean,
I
uh,
would take Steve Spurrier and Art Briles before I would take Billy Napier, fire Billy Napier, bye bye Billy, all of those things. Never forget them. Never lost.
um,
Lamar Ball.
I'm not gonna pick against Utah. They seem to have all the intangibles needed to win the Pac-12. Um, I mean, they've won it 2 years in a row at this point. So I'm gonna take. You got your speakers up?
Yes, yes.
I can hear the echo. I'm gonna take Utah in that game.
All right. Next up, we have Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin versus Tulane. I think they're at Tulane. I'm picking Ole Miss. I don't think that he loses this early in the season. I think that he at least is going to try to make it interesting for the beginning of the season until they play somebody that matters.
Hmm. I'm gonna take who's it? Ole Miss and who?
Tulane.
Ooh, Battle of the Bayou. I'm still gonna take I'm still gonna take Ole Miss in this one. I think Tulane, while they are while they are a talented team for who they are, I don't think that they have enough firepower to beat Ole Miss. And plus, Ole Miss in a trick bag until the last seven games. The first 5 or 6, they're gonna be 6-1, 6-0, 7-1. They're gonna be good. It's the last part of the season where they're kind of boo boo, you know. So I'm gonna take Ole Miss here.
Next up, we have Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M versus Mario Cristobal and Miami. This is actually a sneakily important game. I think that both of these teams need to win this game.
This is the battle of who's back.
Yes, and the battle of, hey man, we paid you a whole lot of money to win games, and you're not winning enough games.
I'm gonna let you know, Jimbo is the one that will stay alive in that race.
Yes, I do think that Jimbo Fisher should probably be fired here pretty soon because they're paying him so much to do very little. But I think that Texas A&M does beat Miami, and Miami, thoughts and prayers. Y'all about to fire another coach. If you're coaching in Florida right now, your job is probably on the hot seat, minus old boy at Florida State, and I think eventually they're gonna turn into a pumpkin too. I am picking Texas A&M in this one.
Why? Why do you think that they're gonna turn into a pumpkin?
Oh, you're right. They have the easiest. Well, they're gonna have to eventually play somebody who's good. Then I think they'll turn into a pumpkin.
Who do they have to play that's good?
I mean, you're gonna get to the playoffs, and then you're gonna have a high expectation.
That's not a pumpkin. So you mean turn into a pumpkin after this year?
No, I think that they're going to get into the playoffs, and then they're going to get destroyed. And then you'll see, oh, this team has been fake all season. They just had a really easy schedule. It's that simple. And don't put it past Florida to rain on your parade.
Hold on. You saying so turning into a pumpkin is losing in the playoffs?
Turning into a pumpkin is losing when you play a legitimate team.
So you don't think they have any legitimate? We've gone down this rabbit hole, but you don't think they have any legitimate?
No. That schedule is embarrassingly light.
I don't think so, but that's fine. I mean, it is light, but I mean, I don't think that they'll be. You can't turn into a pumpkin in the playoffs. To me, you can't. You got it because you made it there.
Agree to disagree.
But in this game, I'm gonna take Texas A&M. I can't pick Miami.
All right. We have Oregon that scored 7,000 points versus Texas Tech that only likes to score 7,000 points in a battle between what is left Big 12. I am picking Oregon to continue to score a lot of points, and I think they beat Texas Tech by 2 touchdowns, maybe 3.
Texas Tech has no defense, but Oregon always falls into trying to play down to their opponent. So everybody knows Texas Tech is going to try to score 1,000 points. Oregon should just run the ball and beat them up. That's the only thing that Oregon should do. They would beat them by 35 points if they just ran the ball and beat them up and play with a lot more physicality. But they're not going to. Why? Because they have a big ass billboard of Bo Nix in New York trying to get him the Heisman, and they're going to try to put the game in his hands. And I'm telling you, if you try to outscore Texas Tech with Bo Nix, you might be in for a rude awakening. But I'm going to take Oregon.
Texas Tech?
No.
Oh, I was about to say, I want 6 on that.
No.
The investment on the banner, you should have kept that money, gave it to a kid who was less fortunate. Bo Nix is not winning the Heisman. You can go to hell for that. Next up, I think this is a very sneaky game, very interesting to me. Notre Dame versus NC State. NC State loves to play spoiler. Notre Dame likes to be themselves. I think that this is actually a pretty close game. I think that Notre Dame probably wins by 7, and I don't trust them at all. Gas station sushi for me.
I don't know anything about NC State. I know that they have decent corners, but that's really all I know.
What do you know about Notre Dame?
They got the quarterback from Wake Forest. That was pretty good. They have really good tight ends, as they always do. They also, I don't know anything about their receivers, and their
So it's the
defense is
same
pretty
every
good.
season for the same every season for the last 15 seasons.
And in the beginning of the game, boo Georgia. In the beginning of the season, Notre Dame is going to be good. I have them beating NC State by field goal.
Okay, we both picked this game to be less than 10. All right, next up, Southern Methodist University, also known as the SMU Mustangs, at Oklahoma. Oklahoma also scored 1,000 points last week. I think they try to score 2,000 this week. Thoughts and prayers to SMU in advance. I think you guys get stomped out. Brent Venables is going to do what the one thing that he knows to do early is to try to make it look like this team is legit, even though we know that he's not legit nor this team is legit. Yeah, I'm picking Oklahoma by a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to pick SMU. I want to. And if they were playing in Dallas, I would pick them.
It ain't that far. It ain't that far.
But it ain't that close.
And AJ, no, until I see the ear like I did with Evander Holyfield, then it's all a question. So you picking Oklahoma in this one?
Yeah, Oklahoma. Sorry. Picking Oklahoma.
All right.
Oklahoma. We got bits and beers, man. Can't all agree.
It was 5 for 5. We picked chalk so far. Next up, I think that this is the true game of the week. This is the one where I'll probably get out and have a couple thousand beers and watch. It is the University of Texas and the University of Alabama. I think that this is Texas's induction into the SEC as they will formally join next year. I think that this will actually probably be a good game for the first quarter and a half. Then Nick Saban will put the women and children to bed and continue and proceed to destroy Texas. I think they win by 3 touchdowns. I think the first half is worth watching.
Will you give me the points?
No, we bet straight up. Don't do
that. 3 touchdowns. I think this is Texas's introduction into the SEC in terms of, I think that they stick with Alabama. We don't know what Alabama has at quarterback. We know that he can run the ball. And we know that they're trying to mash people and run the ball, which will be the difference in the game. But I don't know.
Go ahead, pick Texas.
I don't know about if they can throw.
Pick Texas.
And Texas has a really good wide receiver core. They got Adonis Mitchell from UGA. They
got 3 quarterbacks. They got yours, Manning, and the other dude.
I'm not 10 years old. The 3 quarterbacks, just because you got 3 quarterbacks means you got none. I'm not 10 years old.
Hook 'em horns. Go ahead, bet Texas. Let's get the razzle dazzle going.
If Bama's gonna lose, they need to lose now. So I'm gonna take Texas in the upset. 6-pack.
Ooh, done.
Texas in the upset.
Norwood 6-pack. I mean Norwood, Bama, Davis, Texas.
What's the beer of the season?
6-pack. Dos Equis. That's what I've been riding with for the whole summer.
I gotta get something different. We did Yingling Flight before, then you did the Dos Equis Salt and Lime. I'm gonna pick something else. Yeah, I'm not gonna. You gotta change it up. I'll probably get Party of 2 Brew Crew to recommend a beer for the season.
And next up, Nick, what's up? Also, AJ, yeah, what's up? Sneaky, what's up? Nessa, what's up? The Sanders Bowl. This is Colorado hosting their first home game against Nebraska and Matt Rule. You may remember the name Matt Rule as the guy who got fired last year for being the Carolina Panthers coach. I'm a little concerned about this. The hype train is really rolling for Colorado. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think that they squeaked this game out. I think that Matt Rule really needs to win this game now.
You think Nebraska beats Colorado?
No. I think that Colorado squeaks this game out.
Oh, but okay, you're
But
talking about Matt Rule. That's why.
yes, but Matt Rule really needs to win this game. I think that they lost last week, and he also head coaching for you may not be a career for very long. But I'm picking Dion to win one more game.
Man, so let me tell y'all something. I got a few things to say about this game. We're gonna keep it going. First off, Nebraska is doing exactly what Dion did in terms of flipping the roster. They got a bunch of transfer kids over there in Nebraska. Unfortunately, 5-star Eric Gilbert his football career is probably over after the latest incident. Thoughts and prayers, man. Mental health is for real. Make sure that you guys pray for him and his family. But Colorado, Dion running on the field now. Colorado has a better roster than Nebraska. That's why it was so funny hearing that ESPN commentator who had to eat crow after saying that Colorado had the worst roster in football. And I was like, dog, have you seen Nebraska? Nebraska is awful. I can't see Nebraska beating Colorado. If Colorado to me, it's only if Colorado blows them out or not. If Colorado blows them out, the hype train is going to hit a fever pace. Going to go into warp speed. I'm taking Colorado. Dion is just flipping the roster better than anybody else did so far. And there's another guy up there. You can see down here this game that doesn't matter. This game that doesn't matter right here with Charleston, Southern, and Clemson. There's a coach down there in Clemson who says he doesn't recruit from the transfer portal. And he doesn't do NIL. And he doesn't do all those things. And Dabo Swinney is about to be fired. I'm telling you, if they keep losing and he doesn't get people from the transfer portal, they are going to be fired. So I got Colorado.
All right. Now that we've picked the couple of D1 games that matter, we're here for what really truly matters to us. It is HBCU time, ladies and gentlemen. We are starting out with the team that we all love. Your favorite HBCU football team, the Hampton Pirates, and the Battle of the Bay play against Norfolk State. Smart.
Let's just go to
yes, we are picking Hampton.
Brian, no question. Who we picking? Norfolk State, you don't even matter. You ain't even here. Nobody cares about you. The green and gold, the behold, that shit is mildew. Nobody likes you. Go the fuck home. Hampton is going to beat y'all in the Bay. Y'all can take the tunnel all the way backwards for all I care. Hampton by 1,250,000 to nothing. MEAC, Norfolk, y'all going to suck, and our band going to kick y'all ass. Woo!
And you're probably going to get stuck in the tunnel. I don't think that anybody, if you on this feed right now, you pick Norfolk State, please DM us. We will find you. Next up, I think we have a very, very interesting game here. Another one of the teams in the CAA versus, which is North Carolina A&T playing against North Carolina Central University. A&T has been highly touted to have a follow-up good season. They lost their very first game in Central, who I believe to be one of the best teams in HBCU football. I think that Central hands in A&T another loss. I think A&T starts the season 0-2.
I think Central should be favored if they're not. They don't have the odds on this one. But Central should definitely be favored. They are playing in Greensboro, so that's always tough.
That's a home and home, no.
But it don't matter. I got Central winning. Central is too offensively gifted.
Yeah. Next up, we have Morehouse versus Howard. Morehouse.
Y'all gonna get.
I hope y'all enjoy y'all trip to DC. That's the only thing I got. Go see the monuments. Go by there. Go see MLK if you can. Go by the White House. If you the bros, go by the yard, see that, see everything that you can. Because when it's time to get on that field, y'all gonna get y'all ass.
They gonna beat y'all ass all the way back to Atlanta, bruh.
y'all get y'all ass cut like me with a bad progress report, boy. Let me tell you. Thoughts and prayers in advance.
Howard got this one, man.
Next up, man. So bad I misspelled Howard's name. Next up, I'm actually gonna let Reggie pick this game. This is Jackson State Tigers, who just who took a massive L last week versus Southern. Southern is one of Reggie's teams. He graduated from there, so I'm gonna let him pick this one. Who you got?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we have arrived at what we call the Boombox Classic 2023. Jackson State is the team of the moment in the SWAC. They have all the documentaries, they have the controversy. They came out and blew out South Carolina State. But they went down to that school in Tallahassee and FAMU gave it to them. Southern looks bad. I can't even get mad. I don't know any other way to say it. Southern University looked really bad against Alabama State. They scored on the first drive to make it 7-0 and then ended up losing 14-10. The defense looks pretty good. The offense looks awful. And one thing Jackson State can do is score. So logically, I have to pick Jackson State. But with my heart and my mind and my soul, I am picking Southern University in Baton Rouge to upset Jackson State and make the SWAC race all crazy. Let's go Southern University Jaguars. Nebraska out there with an edge. They just punched this dude in the face.
I don't know on this one. I feel like TC has to prove something here. I'm going with Southern. I think that Dion leaving gutted that roster. If TC can pull out a win here, it would be very impressive, and it would be very bad for Southern. You really can't afford to lose to a program that lost 40, 50 players, I remember it was. So, yeah, I think I got to rock with Southern just because that's what my brain tells me. So Southern it is. Next up, we have Tennessee State versus Arkansas Pine Bluff. Neither one of these teams play defense. They both belong in the Big 12 as far as I'm considered. This is an offense-only game. This may come down to even who has the ball last. I think I'm picking Eddie George, Tennessee State in this game.
I'm only going with familiarity at this point, and I'm picking Tennessee State. Arkansas Pine Bluff was picked. While they did have a heartfelt speech from the coach when they were picked to finish last in the SWAC, they were still picked to finish last in the SWAC. And I'm going with Tennessee State to beat them here.
All right. So the only bet we got in college football is Texas versus Bama, and what I consider the game of the week. I'm not going to say that, but I would like to win these beers. Next up, we are moving to the NFL. Also, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section here, viewers, you are also welcome to bet. We are getting to NFL, and it's about to get a lot more dicey, I think. First game of the week, the one that matters the absolute most, your Atlanta Falcons open the season with the Carolina Panthers. Me and Reggie are picking the Falcons. I don't know why you expect anything else. But I also want to say this. I think that the Falcons are a better team than the Panthers.
So I did my entire division, y'all. I want y'all to see I did whole squares. I got everything here for all the teams in the division. I have the Falcons winning the division and going 12-5. We have the easiest schedule in can you turn your speakers down? Okay. We are 12-5. I got us going 12-5. I think we dominate this division this year. I think we go 5-1. I think we sweep the Panthers. So if us sweeping the Panthers, I'm picking the Falcons to win their first game. I think we have something that you haven't seen on offense before, and I think it's going to take a lot of teams, a lot of places to adjust. Falcons.
Okay. All right. Next up, very interesting game. This is the Bengals with Joe Burrow, who may or may not be injured, versus Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns playing in Cleveland.
AJ, to answer your question, I do think Kyle Pitts will thrive tomorrow. Yes, I do.
First part of this is this: if Joe Burrow does not play, then throw my pick out the window. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I think that he's going to play. I don't think that he should play. I think that they should probably just wait until the games are a little bit more meaningful. But if they're going to play him, I'm going to pick the Bengals to beat the Browns. And we're gonna get another look at Deshaun Watson. We got to see if he can return back to Texans Watson, or is he or has that time come and gone for him?
Unfortunately for Deshaun Watson, he can turn back into the Texans Watsons if he wants to. It really wouldn't make a difference in this division. You got the Ravens, you got the Bengals, and you got the Steelers up and coming. I think the Browns will end up going a little bit 500, maybe above. They're gonna be fighting with the Steelers for last place. I have them losing a lot of this division. I think they get swept. If Joe Burrow plays again, that makes a big difference. But if Joe Burrow plays both games, the Bengals are going to sweep the Browns. The Bengals are a better team. They're a better team. So I got the Bengals beating the Browns.
All right. Next up, in a game of quarterbacks. Well, I don't really think that this is a game of quarterbacks.
Sure they are.
This is the Jaguars versus the Colts. The reason I say it's a game of quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson is basically going to have to figure this out by himself because Jonathan Taylor is on the physically unable to play list for the first 4 weeks of the season. I think that mostly has to deal with the comments of Jim Irsay. And there will be a running theme this season. We're going to watch Trevor Lawrence. I am going to watch Trevor Lawrence, and we're going to see what he's made of. Everybody has put him in the top 7 quarterbacks in the NFL. Some, right there at like top 5. I am not a believer. I don't believe in him at all. He's another person I consider gas station sushi. I want to see it. I don't think tomorrow is where you see it because I think the Colts are not there yet. But I do pick the Jaguars to win this game.
Sneaky says he picks the Jags. The Colts are a dumpster fire, and Anthony Richardson has 3 tackles. That's pretty much how I feel. I think
he can kiss my ass. How about that?
I think the Jaguars and I don't think you have to believe in Trevor Lawrence. It doesn't matter. If you see this division, the Colts ain't it, the Texans ain't it, and the Titans may be it. You may split with them. That's the only game I really have them losing in the division. I think the Jaguars team around Trevor Lawrence is really, really good. They're really young, and all those players are coming, growing up. Their defense with Trayvon Walker, all those rush ends, as well as that secondary, has gotten a year older and a year better. I got them beating the Colts handily, unless they just decide to turn Anthony Richardson into the year 2 Lamar playbook and run quarterback sweep right, quarterback sweep left, play action, deep pass to the tight end. That's all they can do. Ain't nothing else that they're gonna be able to do. And I think the Jaguars are too good, and I think that they beat the Colts.
They got the dude from North Carolina to play wide receiver. I think he's gonna have a solid season.
Josh
especially
Downs.
With no John. Yep. Next up, we have the Bradyless Buccaneers versus the Minnesota Vikings. I'm taking Minnesota by 2 touchdowns.
Nobody cares about the Bucs. The Bucs are ass. I have them finishing 3rd in the division.
They're
3rd or 4th. They're battling with the Panthers for 3rd or 4th in the division.
Oh, I think the Panthers are head and shoulders above the Buccaneers. Poor Mike Evans. Hopefully he can get traded out of there. Maybe they can just, if not, he needs to be out at the end of the season. Vikings win by 2 touchdowns. This next game, very, very interesting game. I have questions for all the quarterbacks in this one. Titans versus Saints. I think.
Oh, Titans. Titans. Any close game the Saints are in, I'm taking the Titans. I think the Saints are really gonna miss their defensive line coach. They lost 3 defensive linemen. Now that offense, if they can get that offense booming, they got a lot of weapons on offense if they can stay healthy. But I think they are missing Kamara for the first game, if I'm not mistaken. Fumble recovered by Colorado. I'm taking the Titans here. I think DeAndre Hopkins has something to prove, and I think he's going to go on a revenge tour all year except for against the Falcons.
Yeah, so everybody is in unison picking the Titans, even Nessa. Next up, the San Francisco 49ers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, Pickens and Pickett. 49ers by a lot. I think they paid everybody who's good in the NFL at the same time. So yeah, I don't see them losing this game. Kenny Pickett, little hands Pickett, you lose today.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Steelers have really good skill position players that can attack the 49ers DBs, but the 49ers trenches are just going to absolutely demolish the Steelers trenches, and I think it's going to be 49ers by 14. I think George Pickens has a spectacular catch, though. Has one.
All right. Next, you have the Arizona Cardinals versus Washington Commandos. Sam Howell, you lucky. You know what? You get to scrimmage a terrible team that's looking to tank. Commandos, y'all start the season 1-0, even though I think that you're probably the worst team in the NFC East.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Commanders here. I think Eric Bieniemy gets his first win, and I think he puts the pressure on Ron Rivera in a shootout. Because Rivera, that's crazy to say about your own
shootout.
Coach, right? Yeah.
What gun you got in Arizona?
None.
You ever seen a person in a shootout without a gun?
If I'm Arizona, I come out there with trick plays and everything.
Yeah. Let me tell you, a person without a gun in a shootout is a dead ass from where I come from. Next up, you got the Texans versus the Ravens. I think the Texans actually play this a little bit better than people probably think. I think that D'Amico Ryan's probably going to be a good coach. I think that they have, they got Stingley. They got Stroud at QB. I think that Mechie is out, but I think that this team is a team. Even though I hate their ownership, and I will say that until the cows come home, I think that this team is turning it around, but the Ravens are too much. They bully them, and they just run over them. Ravens by 10.
Ooh, they hit Shador late, and they didn't call it. Ravens are going to win by 21 points. I think the Ravens are going to be the second best team in the league, possibly top 3 team in the league. All they needed was a new offensive, any type of offensive coordinator. And they've got it, and they got one that can accentuate Mark Andrews as well as use you saw what he did at Georgia, as well as use Lamar Jackson and get everything he can out of him as a passer because he's going to be throwing to wide open people. So I think the Ravens are going to beat the Texans, and the hype train for the Ravens starts early.
All right, next up, we have a quarterback we don't know about and a quarterback we only know this about. That is the Green Bay Packers versus Chicago Bears. Who knows what the Packers got? Their sophomore wide receiver will be out, so I'm picking the Bears probably by 10.
I'd take the Packers for 6. I think the Packers and Jordan Love, I think their defense is better than the Bears' defense. I think the Bears will be better than we think. But I don't believe in the hype train that the Bears are going to be at the top of the division. I still think they finish last, and I think the Packers finish a game ahead of them. The Packers have a really, really good team around Jordan Love, and I got the Packers winning.
We might need to do a side bet on that. We can do a side mission later, but yeah, I don't think they finish last at all. Next up, we have the Raiders and Jimmy G versus Russell Wilson, Sean Payton, and the Denver Broncos. 2 quarterbacks that may need to give it up soon and very soon. I am picking the Broncos strictly off of Sean Payton. I think that I've heard a lot of things that he said lately that are very encouraging. I think he wants Russell Wilson to cut the shit and get to playing football versus being liked and loved by everybody. I think that's very interesting. I am picking the Broncos. I would never pick Jimmy G.
Shador just made – I'm sorry, y'all. I'm watching. I'm listening. Shador just made a pass to the far hash on the run across his body for 12 yards for a first down in tight coverage to Travis Hunter. Lord. I don't believe in the Raiders. I think the Raiders are the worst team in the AFC West. I think the Broncos are above them, so I'm going to pick the Broncos over the Raiders. I don't believe in Jimmy G. He's another stealer, another scammer. Y'all, for some reason, keep paying this man, and he is the reason why all those teams that had all pros at every other position except his lost the Super Bowl. Jimmy G is the reason that quarterbacks keep getting paid high contracts, because you can surround Jimmy G with everything else in the world and he's still going to throw the ball with his eyes closed and you going to lose.
Nah.
So I'm picking the Broncos.
That only worked with Shanahan, and I think he has Brock Purdy for that now. And yeah.
And Jimmy G, we ain't talking about that. That's a good point. He's going from Shanahan to ain't no slouch in McDaniels now. Ain't no slouch.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Slouch socks, as far as I'm concerned. Next up, another scrimmage. The Philadelphia Eagles and the not the Green Bay Patriots, the New England Patriots. The Patriots don't have a quarterback, and the Eagles have everybody that used to play for Georgia. The Georgia Bulldogs beat the Patriots by 2 touchdowns.
I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I have the Patriots fighting for the top pick in the draft.
Pretty Kirk Cousins is disrespectful. I think it's disrespectful to Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is like, yo, I'm mediocre. Jimmy G is definitely not mediocre.
I'm taking the Eagles.
Patriots?
I think the Patriots go 3-14 this year, and I think this is the end of the Belichick era, or at least the starting of the closing time song for the Belichick era.
Up next we have an AFC showdown here: the Miami Dolphins versus the San Diego Chargers. This is actually a very difficult game to pick for me,
Chargers,
because I really like the Dolphins, minus the fact that Tua is a big question mark for me. I'm sure y'all have heard me say I'm not even sure if he should still be playing football after what we saw last season. The Chargers, they got their guys back. They're all healthy. Justin Herbert is who I think he's a top 6 quarterback in the NFL. This might be the game of the week. I put Cowboys Giants, but Dolphins Chargers probably game of the week. Give me the Dolphins, man. Give me the Dolphins.
I'm going to take the Dolphins in this game only because I think the Dolphins have a better line offensively and defensively.
All right.
I don't believe in the Chargers. You're not setting me up again for the 3rd time in a row. I picked y'all 2 years in a row to do something, and y'all did nothing. You just going to have to prove it to me. Can't pick them. Can't win with them. Can't win with them.
Next up, this is a very, very, I think, balanced game. This is another game I probably want to watch. I don't know exactly who I should feel more comfortable with. Of course, this is the Los Angeles Rams versus Seattle Seahawks. The Rams and Matt Stafford, no Cooper Kupp. Tricky. They do have what's his name? Van Jefferson, I think is his name. He should be back. And the Seahawks, they should have their full slate, but I just don't feel like they're the strongest team. But I probably got to pick the Seahawks in this. No Cooper Kupp. The Rams offense is kind of boring to me.
Yeah. Seahawks gonna win this game just because the Rams, everybody is hurt. All of their good players are always hurt. All of the good ones. It's not like they get like the nickelback get hurt. It'd be Jalen Ramsey when he was there last year, torn meniscus. Aaron Donald, Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp. All of the good people are hurt.
And I know that they got a Super Bowl, so I'll never be able to prove this. But I think that they should have just waited on Jared Goff. I think if they had waited one more season on Jared Goff, they could have not spent every draft pick they've ever gotten and got a Super Bowl. But that's neither
hard to argue that though because they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's basically Anthony Davis. Next up, this is probably for most people the game of the week: Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Football Giants. This is 7:20 on Sunday. You know they was gonna put Jerry on prime time game week 1. I think the Cowboys beat the dimes out of Danny. I
don't believe in Danny Dimes. I'm picking the Cowboys. I got the Cowboys actually. Unfortunately, in the NFC, let me pull out my paper. In the NFC, I have the Cowboys with the tied for the 2nd best record in the NFC. Unfortunately, the team with the 1st best record is going to be the Eagles. So you're going to be in the wild card or playing in the 1st round anyway, because you're in the division with the Eagles. I don't believe in the Giants. I think the Giants hover around 500 all year, and they're going to have to make some decisions in the offseason again. So I have the Cowboys beating the Giants here, I think.
All right, Monday Night Football. This is
game of the week.
Time
this is my game of the week.
See Aaron Rodgers in the new green. He will be the starting quarterback for the New York Jets playing against the Buffalo Bills. This is a very interesting game because both of these teams have a very strong collection of really good players. But this is the first time that Aaron Rodgers will be playing for the Jets, and I am inclined to take the Jets in this one.
I picked the Jets to in my mock. I picked the Jets to win this division. I picked the Jets to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. In order for that to happen, they have to beat Buffalo. I think they have the better defense. I think they have more weapons. Now they have a quarterback that is as good or better than Josh Allen. I think, and they sound Dalvin Cook to go with Breece Hall, as well as you have all of these Allen Lazard and all of these older veterans to pair with Garrett Wilson. Offensively, the Jets look kind of crazy. Defensively, the Jets look insane. I got them beating the Bills, and I think they beat them by 10. Late field goal puts it out of reach.
Ooh. All right, so we've picked every game this week. We have 2 6-packs going this week. I'm rolling with Bama. Reggie's rolling with Texas. And then I am picking the Bears, and Reggie is picking the Packers. I think that's a much better bet. Y'all got anything we need to talk, touch, address before we get out of here? And we will see you guys on Monday. If you do, please put it in the comment box while we're here. Always remember, like, follow, subscribe, tell a friend about the podcast. The numbers are up. We're continuing to grow. We are back here for football season. Tomorrow around noonish, I will post all of our predictions for the season on, in each conference and each division who we are picking. I'll probably post the template today or probably noon tomorrow. So you guys, Sneaky say, I know that's really a shot at Rodney. You probably gonna have to hit him in the group. But a 6-pack on his Cowboys. No, I'm rolling with the Cowboys in that one. But yes, I'll put the template up so you guys can participate as well. Everybody is a football genius. Everybody knows exactly who's going to win. If you believe that, fill out the template. We will check during the season. Me and Reggie do checkups typically about quarterly to see how these seasons are going. And last year, I'm going to tell you, it's a godsend when people tell you who you didn't pick and you can say, wait. I can show you on my Instagram who I picked and when I picked them. Shut a lot of people up for me last year.
Mm-hmm. It works. I told it. It was a lot I told y'all going on. Now some of them picks, we backdoored our way to being right. I know all mine. I was like, I didn't even know about that, but it worked. It worked out in the end.
By hook or by crook, baby.
Except for the Chargers. I will never fall for your antics again. Boy, Georgia looks awful.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been another fantastic Saturday Morning Live. We look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. And then, of course, we will be back here next Saturday. I may be in a different location if that's the 15th. And I think, yes, I will be. I will be in Dallas next weekend, but we will still get it done from there. No worries. See y'all then. Adios, mi amigos. And until next time, y'all be safe and college football.